Hello, school family. Happy Sunday. I am feeling much more at ease going into this week after a great experience last week with our in-person and virtual learning combined. So I am thrilled to be back in the schoolhouse again on Monday. I want to thank you for reaching out over the weekend for families that did to check in to see how I was feeling. The sickness that came on Friday was very unexpected, but I'm just so thankful that I had everyone's support, that you guys made it work, whether you went asynchronous or joined another classroom. And I'm very thankful for the other kindergarten teachers at Vincent Farm that helped me with my in-person students. So on days where things don't go to plan, it's awesome to just have a support and a great school family around you. So thank you for that. Okay, so this week coming up is our last week following the schedule that we're working right now. The kindergarten team and I are in the process now of trying to figure out what the new schedule is going to look like when we maximize and go full day. One thing we've noticed for sure is that for our virtual students, the afternoon time is not ideal. We've been able to log off and have the majority of our learning done besides specials by 1:30, 2 o'clock each day in our previous schedule. And we felt like that was really conducive to their stamina. And of course, as the school year progresses, we expect them to have more of that, but it is a lot to ask of them to stay attentive, even moving into the afternoon, especially after lunch, especially after being on and off all day long. So we are trying to find the best way possible to make a new schedule work for our students that are going to be with us all day long. On the new dismissal schedule, that's a full day, and our students that are going to be virtual. So please stay tuned in your email for that this week. I will be giving lots more information because just like we had to do from the original schedule, we changed it. The same thing is going to happen again after this week is over, moving into a full day schedule for in-person learning and for our friends that are still going to remain virtual. Okay, so let's jump into our work of the week. This week in shared reading, our essential questions. So that big question, we're moving away from weather and we're moving on to animals. And this week specifically, baby animals. So our essential question this week is, how are animals alike and different? And we're going to read a text that is a nonfiction text, which is unusual for the beginning of our week. We've been doing a lot of work in fiction, and my friends will tell you fiction means fake. Fiction means fake, where we're really honing in on those characters and setting and all of those details. We're moving this week more into nonfiction. So nonfiction meaning the book is real. It's got true information and real photographs in it. So our first book up on the list is Zooborns. We're going to do that on Monday and Tuesday this week. So Monday we'll be asking and answering questions about the details. This is a really cute book. It features an animal, tells you all this different information about it, and the students are able to make a guess if they know what animal it is. Some of them are very obvious, and some of them are animals that in my years of reading this book over and over are ones that have surprised me that I wasn't even aware of. So in my past, students really love this story. It's a lot of fun. So we're going to do that one this week. We're also going to do that on Tuesday, and the objective is going to be the relationship between the illustrations, or in this case of this story, it's the photographs and the text. Did the author and the photographer work together to make it make sense so that the animal that we're describing matches the photograph that we were seeing about the animal? And this will be really cool because some of these animals we're not aware of them. It's going to be new to our brain file. So students are going to gain a lot of information by seeing the photograph of them. Okay, Wednesday is that asynchronous day. My friends, don't forget that 9 o'clock is still that login time on Wednesdays. As I said last week, Wednesdays are sacred. It stays exactly how it's always been. I had some friends, I think, that missed morning meeting, and I totally understand, or they logged in too late and I was already jumping into my one-on-one session. So all the other days of the week, my virtual friends come in at 9:25 or sooner if you'd like. On Wednesday, we're on at 9. That way I can flow through the rest of my schedule for the day. Okay, I did have a couple friends miss their one-on-ones this week. So if that happened, try your best to make sure you get logged on this week. Okay, so that's for Wednesday. We have nothing. Thursday is going to be a nonfiction text called Baby Farm Animals, and we're going to do main topic. The main topic being baby farm animals and finding those teeny tiny parts, the key details that make the story make sense. And then on Friday, we're going to go back and work on some poems. I have some friends who were really into poems. GJ in particular in our class, we did a little bit of work with poems and he wrote a poem himself. So I think all of our friends are really going to enjoy this. And what we're going to do is make text to self connections. So finding out different things that we could personally relate to in the poems that we're reading. Okay, so that's for shared reading. Moving on to phonics, we are back on track. We are done with review. I'm very happy to say that last week when we were reviewing our short vowels, our friends did an excellent job. I really am starting to see great progress in those skills that we work on kind of just as a part of the routine are starting to stick without me having to go back and really give reminders. They're just automatically doing it. And I cannot tell you how happy it has made my heart to see that some of those routines we were doing virtually have stuck, and my students that are in person are just rocking and rolling and just doing such a great job. It really just makes me so happy. So for phonics, Monday, Tuesday, we're going to do letter W. It's a sign for W that says w, w, w. And we're going to manipulate it at the beginning and the end, and of course continue to work with those short vowels while we are blending. And then on Thursday and Friday, it's going to be letter K that says k, k, k. And we know some of my friends really have gotten this grammatical piece memorized, that when K comes at the end of a word, usually on a short vowel, it is CK. So we're going to do some work with that on Friday. We'll focus on beginning K on Thursday, and on Friday we'll do some talk about long vowels and how it's just a K, or short vowels, how we hear that CK at the end, it says k, same sound. Usually friends pick up that K sound pretty quickly because we already have practiced it with the C for camera. Now, parents, if you are having students doing their choice board at home, which I so appreciate, you have them maybe writing different words or having them sound out things just for fun or in your own independent time, you might notice that sometimes they juxtapose the K and the C. They might use the C sometimes, they might use the K sometimes. That is totally developmentally appropriate because we are not at a stage in our learning where our brains just automatically recognize that. So if you see them writing the C when it's supposed to be a K, you can tell them, but that's not something they're automatically going to know. We want them to know that C says K and K says K. So for them in their learning, if it's saying K, it's really their choice which one to pick. And eventually, as they get older, they'll be able to differentiate between the two. Okay, so that's for phonics this week. And then for math, Monday, we're going to work on a game called Shapes and More Shapes. We seem to really be loving these shapes and moving along with that. So that's going to be on Monday. I got a little ahead of myself last week, and I guess because I just really like this lesson, there's a shape in my pocket. And our friends really had a good time. They were asking me questions. I had a shape card and I put it in my pocket, and they had to ask yes or no questions to figure out its color, its size, and its shape. So what I think we're going to do on Tuesday and Thursday this week is, instead of me giving all of the shapes and having it in my pocket, I'm going to have our friends do that. So we will have some guidelines on how we're going to make that work. Friends really last week wanted to be the ones holding the shape. So I think it would be a fun spin on it to get them to do some of the work with that. And it's really just a great way to practice the attributes and all of those pieces that help us understand what separates this shape from another shape. Does it have 3 corners? Does it have 4 sides? Is it blue? Is it yellow? Is it red? And for my in-person friends, we do have those manipulatives, the actual shapes in person that they can actually play with. So we might do some exploring with that this week. And then on Friday, we are going to do one of those tier tasks, and it's all about describing shapes using positional words, and which is a really big deal. Some of my friends already have a really strong handle on positional words, so over, under, above. I'm blanking on any of the other ones I'm thinking right now, but you know what I'm talking about, those positional words, behind, and getting them to use those more in their math language, and really it could be in their language in everyday life. So that's going to be on Friday. We're going to pair some of that shape work with positional words. Okay, and I think that is everything. I feel like I was moving at a rapid pace. If you have any questions this week, you know where to find me. I will be back in the building tomorrow. I'm feeling pretty much good as new. Still have a little bit of a pain in my side, but nothing crazy like it was on Friday. So once again, I thank you so much for your support, for always being here, and to my families that are just always willing to lend a helping hand or just a kind word. I appreciate it more than you know. Okay, so tomorrow I will see my cohort A students for Monday and Tuesday. So tomorrow I will see them at 9:10 as they enter the building, and then I will see my virtual students on by 9:25. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and I will see you tomorrow. Mwah.